Some say that Hillary might literally have brain damage from her fall that we all remember. But nonetheless, she is back on the campaign trail full swing. Or wait, I think they're calling it a book tour. Yeah, that's right. It's not a campaign at all. It's a book tour. The questions and problems of her 2008 presidential campaign linger, and her recent time as Secretary of State may come under the microscope. Joining me now, Deneen Borelli, who's the Outreach Director at FreedomWorks and the author of Backlash. Deneen, welcome to Smart Life.
Dr. Gina, how you doing, my friend?
I am doing well. I want you to listen closely here. We have a couple of clips of Hillary over the last couple of weeks. The mainstream media, you got to hand them a little credit here, Deneen. I know we can't give them much, but once in a while, they've actually been asking Hillary some tough questions regarding Benghazi. Diane Sawyer actually did a pretty good job, drilled her a little bit, and this was an NBC interview. Watch this.
You write in great detail in the book about what was happening in Benghazi as it evolved. Did you keep a diary during your time?
I kept a lot of notes.
If the committee wants your notes, would you turn those over?
They can read it in the book.
They can read it in the book. Well, isn't that convenient? Moving on to one more thing that she said this week that was very interesting. Hillary, I think, trying to connect with the common man. She's having trouble buying all of those houses. Listen to this.
It has been reported you've made $5 million making speeches. The president's made more than $100 million.
Well, if you have no reason to remember, but we came out of the White House not only dead broke, but in debt. Money when we got there, and we struggled to piece together the resources for mortgages for houses, for Chelsea's education. It was not easy. Bill has worked really hard, and it's been amazing to me. He's worked very hard. First of all, we had to pay off all our debts, which was, you had to make double the money because of, obviously, taxes, and then pay off the debts and get us houses and take care of family members.
But do you think Americans are going to understand 5 times the median income in this country for one speech?
Well, let me put it this way. I thought making speeches for money was a much better thing than getting connected with any one group or company, as so many people who leave public life do.
Wow, we had to make money to pay for our houses. Deneen, is this speaking to your middle class attitude here? I mean, is this something that middle class people in America can relate to, having to pay for your mini houses?
Yeah, really, break out my violins, right? Listen, one thing Americans will not forget is how cold, uncaring, and manipulative Hillary Clinton is, especially when they are often reminded by those famous words, "What difference does it make?" referring to the lives of our brave Americans who were massacred. And there's no accountability in Benghazi, there's absolutely no accountability and no answers to what happened. My heart goes out to the loved ones and family members of those individuals, but clearly there is no sympathy for Hillary Clinton, not from my end, and I'm sure not from a lot of other Americans.
Well, apparently Hillary, keeps this diary, and rather than answer whether there are any answers as to what she went through in her diary during the whole Benghazi incident, she says, "I'd like to sell some books. Read my book." Isn't this reminiscent of this almost disdain or arrogance that this administration has had, going way back to, it depends on what your definition of is, looking the American people in the eye, in the camera, lying to them, Hillary backing up Bill Clinton's lies again and again and again. Do they even care what the American people think, Deneen?
Absolutely not. And I think the name of her book should be Excuses, because that is what Hillary is doing from one incident to another, whether it was Bill and his dalliances or what happened in Benghazi or what happened with Bergdahl. No accountability, arrogance, and doesn't care. And that's the thing. And I think that's a slap in the face to all Americans.
Do you believe that Hillary Clinton will be the Democratic nominee for president?
Well, she's basically been coronated as such, and of course time will tell. But, when you think of politics, a lot could happen between now and then, because I think the left thought that Hillary was going to beat Barack Obama in 2008, and that didn't happen. So with politics, you never know.
You don't ever know. We had, of course, this incident with Cantor recently. Now he's going to be stepping down, and we have this basically virtual unknown brat now who came up and beat him. What do you think? I just want to look at this from almost a mathematical equation perspective, Deneen, and say, what do you think is happening in the minds of voters right now? Is this all as significant? The media asking questions of Hillary that they've really never asked before, the Cantor loss, the questioning of Hillary and Bill to begin with. Is this a different era of politics?
Well, I do believe that she would want nothing more than to run for president and to win. And again, this woman is a career politician who will do and say anything. And people are seeing past what she is doing and what she is saying up late. And she's really trying to gain sympathy, but also trying to get out in front all the possible questions that might come up if and when she does decide to run. That is what I think is going on now, so that she can basically say, we've already covered it, read my book, I talked about that years ago. That's what I think is happening right now. They're basically setting the table so that they can move forward, and we're not supposed to ask the same questions that we still want answers to, that she has made excuses for.
If Hillary is the nominee, what do you think, just by description, not who, because I know you're not going to sit here on my show today and endorse your selection for the Republican nominee, although that would be great, Deneen, if you want to. But who do you think, what's the profile of a person that runs best against Hillary Clinton?
Well, when you look at what just happened this week with Cantor, and how Americans are tired of the establishment, they're tired of big government and the spending, and they're tired of individuals who are basically lying to us, saying one thing and doing another. I see a lot of citizen Americans just stepping up, taking a stand to run for office, whether it's local or national. Americans want change. We want leadership. We want direction. Our country is going in the wrong direction, and we need and desire individuals who will do as they say, listen to their constituents, and turn our country around.
She is the author of Blacklash. Tell us, Deneen, where we can find your book.
Absolutely, DeneenBorelli.com, and you can also visit empower.org. Get a lot of information from FreedomWorks. That's the FreedomWorks Project, and provides the tools and resources for people to get involved, have a voice, take a stand.
I have to say, in that red dress on the cover of your book, you have a beautiful posture. Something I just never happened to notice about you, but absolutely gorgeous posture. And I know that what's inside the book is from an absolutely beautiful heart. Deneen Borelli, you can find her on Twitter at Deneen Borelli. Deneen, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Good to talk to you.
All right, thanks.